and I'm going to the screen where we write, that is the paintbrush screen. So today we will discuss about some more thing on vector, and these are, let me just write it down. These are the things like I will talk about triangle law of vectors. So you can also sometimes uh, call parallelogram law. Parallelogram law or triangle law, actually the same thing, but written in a different way. Okay, two laws are popular and equally important, but basically they are same. So I will discuss, then you will understand. So other thing we will discuss today is three-dimensional vectors. Okay, so if you have I, J, K, that will be called three-dimensional vectors. And then if we have time, I mean, we will also discuss dot product. So in my last mm, class today, another class with another section, actually I could not discuss dot product. So let me see whether I can do it with you or not. So the first thing we will discuss, that is called triangle law of vectors. So let us have two example vectors. One is A, any vector I can take, say 5i and then plus 3j. This is one vector, it is called A. And I will take another vector B, uh, say it is 3i then minus 2j. So this is the vector example, and if you draw the line, that is x-axis, y-axis, I can tell x-axis, y-axis, but it is better if you tell this vertical axis and horizontal axis. So this is vertical axis and this is horizontal axis, and you can draw the A vector. Let me just draw the A vector with another line from 0, 0, and this will be like this. It is going 5 units right side and 3 units up. Okay, it will be like this. Is that okay? And then another vector is B, and if you draw that B vector also, it will be 3 units. Let me draw this by green color. So the second vector B, it will be 3 units right and 2 units down. It is like that. Yeah, 3 units right, 2 units down. Yes, it is like that. Is it okay? Do you understand the drawing? Everyone should understand because we already discussed. Now I am talking about triangle law. So for triangle law, what happens? We actually find out the resultant vector. So what is the resultant vector? Resultant vector, actually we call this A plus B. A plus B vector means here uh, you have one vector A, you have another vector B, and then if you combine these vectors together, if you add these two vectors together, that will be A plus B. A plus B is very easy to find out here, but to understand what does it mean, I am drawing the thing on the right side. So if you add together 5i plus 3i will be 8i, and 3j minus 2j, it will be plus j. So it is this simple, very, very simple. This is 8i plus j. It will be the vector which is A plus B. Now the point is, if you want to uh, draw this on the figure, what will happen with that, or what will be your figure actually, what will be the drawing? So in that case, you can easily understand this will be 8 units right and 1 unit up. This is very, very simple. Everyone can understand. Uh, Let me just draw this first and then I will tell you what is happening. So it will be like this. It will be like this. Okay. A little more maybe. Yes. It will be like this. This will be the 8 units right and 1 unit up. And that will be actually 8I plus j vector. So what is happening here? This is actually a parallelogram. I mean, if you think about a parallelogram in Bengali, it is called uh,
আয়তক্ষেত্র,
Samantarik.
সামান্তরিক। Oh,
Uh, Ayatokhetra is called rectangle.
rectangle.
So rectangle is also like this, but angles will be all 90 degree. But here it is Samantarik in Bengali, and in English it is called parallelogram. So what is parallelogram here actually? The parallelogram is the whole figure. Parallelogram is the whole figure uh, that has uh, five uh, that has five sorry, four sides. Okay, four sides, and opposite sides are parallel. Okay, opposite sides are parallel. So this whole thing is parallelogram. So when you have the parallelogram, uh, you can say you can say uh, this is actually parallelogram law of vectors. It is possible. In other words, you can say the triangle law of vectors. Okay, what is the law? I will write it down, then you will understand. So what is the law is,
But sir, I have one question.
yes,
Sir, what is resultant vector actually?
a resultant vector means the result of the vectors. So result means if two vectors work together. So in your real example, you can say this is a stone, okay, and there is a rope and someone is pulling this stone uh, in this direction, that is one rope, okay, and the force is there, and another one is uh, just pulling the same stone with another rope in another direction. So what will happen if someone is pulling the rope which is tied up with a stone in one direction, and another person is pulling another rope which is tied up with the same stone? What will happen as a result? That is the resultant vector. What will happen as a result? So in this case, what is happening? We have one vector, it is A. We have another vector, it is B. And we have the drawing here according to the given vector. And we have the parallelogram here. And we see the resultant vector actually A plus B. This is the orange color line. Okay, A plus B is actually the orange color line. So what is happening with the orange color? Orange color line is the diagonal. We call this in Bengali corno. So it is in English diagonal of the parallelogram. Okay. So what is happening with the diagonal of the parallelogram? Let me write it down as the triangle law system. Okay. I'm writing the law as a triangle law system. So what is the system I am writing? If uh, two sides of a triangle represent two vectors uh, in same order, okay, the same order, then the third side will represent the resultant vector. Third side will represent the resultant vector in opposite order. In opposite order. So this will be the triangle law. You can also say the same thing as parallelogram law, but it will be written in a different way. So I'm not telling that thing, exactly same thing. So as a triangle, what are the triangles we see? Actually, we see two triangles here. So no problem, you can consider any triangle, upper one or lower one, does not matter. Say this is our triangle, we are thinking about that. Now you find out what I have written, then you will understand. So what I have written here, I have written if, uh, before that let me give names. So this is O and this is A and this is B, that is OB line is B vector, OA line is A vector, and this is C. OC line is the result vector. Okay. So you have the triangle AOC. You have the triangle AOC. Now think about the triangle law. In the AOC, there are two sides representing two vectors. What are the two sides representing two vectors? I am saying OA is one side and AC is the other side. AC is the other side. How AC is the other side? Because it is O to A point and then A to C point. So isn't it the same B vector? AC line is also the same B vector. Why? Because this is parallelogram, opposite side, same length and parallel. So same direction, same length. So this is the same vector. So if you think about O to A, then A to C, then the third side will be the resultant. That means A plus B vector, and it will be in opposite order. The third side will be the opposite order. Opposite order means not C to A, not C to A. C to A is the direction? No, that is wrong. Okay, not C to A. It will be O to C. That means the opposite direction. So this is called the triangle law, and that will be the parallelogram law also in other words. So let us not discuss about the parallelogram law. So this is the thing, and this is the resultant vector. Is it okay? You understand my point?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
It's clear.
Okay. Now let me ask you what will happen if I say A minus B? What will happen if I say A minus B? If I want to find out A minus B, then what is the result? So what is that mean? So the meaning is actually we consider in this case A, then plus, then minus B vector. The consideration is minus B another vector, A is one vector, and we are doing plus. So that means the resultant vector of A and minus B. So what is the minus B here? In this case, the minus B is actually the opposite side of B. So that will be same length, but exactly opposite side. So this will be like this. Okay. So that will be the minus B vector. And if you have the minus B vector here, which is drawn in violet color, then you will again think of the parallelogram. So what will be the parallelogram uh, sides? It will be like this. The parallelogram will be like this. Okay. So if you have another parallelogram like that, and then the result will be, again I'm drawing it by orange color. So the result will be this, and the result will be called A minus B. Why A minus B? Because one side is A, that is O to A. Say this point is D, then one side is OA, the other side is AD, other side is AD. So what is AD here? AD is actually minus B, because this is parallel to minus B side. This is same length, same direction. So O to A corner and then A to D corner. So two sides of the triangle, okay, two sides of the triangle and same order. So the other side, the third side will be the result. So third side will be the result means third side will be A then plus minus B. So A plus minus B actually it is A minus B. So this will be the style or way of finding A minus B. Is that okay? So
Yes, sir.
so this is how we combine two vectors together. So vector may be force, vector may be velocity, vector may be any other terms like that, okay, which has value and direction. So this is the thing we wanted to discuss, the triangle law of vector. So first thing is done. Now, if you do not have any question specific, we will go to the three-dimensional vector concept. Is that okay? Can we move to the three-dimensional vector?
Yes, I think.
Yes, sir.
Okay, then let me draw other figures. Let me just erase all these. Okay, I will draw other vectors, other examples. Okay, with three-dimensional examples. So let me erase the triangle law also, and then now I'm drawing another uh, system which we will call the x-axis, y-axis, and z-axis. This is the three-dimensional axis. So you can consider this as your corner of a room, as a corner of a room. Okay, it is easy to understand. So the lower part is the floor. Lower part is the floor. So let me just draw the floor like this. So this will be the floor. Okay. Now I am drawing the floor with gray color line, and this is like I am drawing the tiles. Okay. Is it okay? So say for example, I am drawing these tiles. So this is your floor, and you have two walls. So one wall on the left side, another wall on the right side, and it will be the center point is called O point, like origin, and other will be x-axis, y-axis, z-axis. So which one is x, which one is y, which one is z? Who can say? Anyone can say. Can you tell me which one is x-axis, what is z, and what is y? Is there any rule or here?
Anyone?
Upper one is X, I guess, and the right side part is Y, and the left side part is Z.
Okay, so I'm just writing in your way. You said this is x, right? And which
This
one
is
is
Z.
y?
This is
Left
Z.
left is z,
Z.
and this is y. So
Yes,
it is
sir.
okay. Someone is saying like that. Okay, any different idea? If you have, tell me what is your different idea.
Y
Sir,
side
Yes.
is X.
sir, right side is X, upper
Right
side
side
is
is
Y,
Okay,
and the left side is Z.
okay.
Z.
So this is x, and
X.
this is y, and this is z. So it is another idea. Do you agree, or if you
I
Yes,
have,
agree.
sir. Agree.
I agree.
everyone agrees with this? No more different idea.
Sir, both are right, sir.
Okay, so you are saying both are right. Okay, so actually the green color, okay, green color one, the right side is x, then upper one y, then left one z. It is correct. It may be possible. Okay. The maroon color XYZ is not correct. So you should maintain the order in anti-clockwise mode. That means the circle I have drawn here. Okay. Anti-clockwise means it will rotate like this: x to y, then y to z, then z to x, like. So if you think about the green color one, so x to y, and then y to z, and z to y. So it is
The
possible.
ZX theory, sir. The ZX theory.
Yes. So it is possible. Every time if you think about the anti-clockwise direction, that will be called the positive rotation. That will be called the positive axis, positive value, positive angle, whatever, everything positive. In science, in uh, physics, everywhere, this is always same. Okay. And the other one is not in that order, so that one will be wrong. So what I mean here actually, in our real life, uh, uh, normally we take the upper one as the z-axis. Okay, so the vertical one, okay, top direction or the bottom direction, that will be the আবার মুশকিল হচ্ছে আমাকে, okay. So usually what we say the top side direction, that means the vertical one will be the z-axis. So if the vertical one is z-axis, we think, okay, we think that left side is, sorry, our x-axis, and the right side is our y-axis, and upper one is z-axis. So left side x-axis means in this direction you will have the unit vector I, and the right side is y-axis. So in this direction unit vector j, and the upward direction is the unit vector k. So these are the conventional practice. But you can change, you maintain the circle here. You maintain the circle, then you can change. Okay. Now let us give example. Say one example is p vector, and the p vector has I, j, k, three things. So let us have one example like 3i, and then plus 2j, and then minus k. So this is one example vector which is p. Okay. So if I write this, if I draw this, then you can imagine how the drawing will be there. Let me give another example, q vector, and that will be say 4i, and then say minus 2j, okay, and then say plus 3k. So this is another example vector, q. Now let me draw the p vector. So how the p vector will be drawn? So it will be 3 units I, that means x-axis. So it will be 1, 2, 3 unit here. And then 2 unit y-axis, 2 unit j. So it will be 1, 2, like this. And then 1 unit minus. So 1 unit minus means it will go down, not up, it will go down. So down means under the floor. Down means under the floor. It will be like this. This will be the end point. Okay. So if you draw this p vector, you start from O, and then you come up here. You start from O and then come up here. So this will be OP line. This will be OP line, and the vector name will be p vector. So this is one example. If you think about the second example, that will be 4i, and then 2j minus, and then 3k plus. Again, you start from origin, that is 0, 0 point, and you go through x-axis 4 unit. So 1, then 2, and 3, then 4, up to this. And then minus 2. Minus 2 means what? 2j means y-axis but minus. So if you go to the other side of the x-axis, that will be minus I. Okay. If you go to other side of the y-axis, that will be minus j. And if you go to the other side of z-axis, that will be minus k. Is that okay? Do you understand my point?
Yes, sir.
So,
Yes, sir.
so 4 units I, and then you go 2 units j. That means here 2 units j. Okay, and then you go up because it is plus 3. So you go up means upward direction like that. Okay. In this direction you will go up. How many? 3 units. So it is 1, then 2, then 3 like this. So that will be the last point. So if you draw this line now and you start from the 0 point and then you come up here, that will be the last point, and this point you can call Q point, and the vector is called Q vector. OQ line, Q vector. So that will be your second example vector in the three-dimensional mode. Is it okay? Do you understand this thing?
Yes, sir.
Can you say it once more?
Tell me again, what is your question?
Actually, how did it like in one
Which
line?
one? Which one? Both PQ or only Q?
Sir, Q.
Okay, Q. So let me tell it again. So what is the given vector? It is 4i minus 2j plus 3k. So 4i means in the x-axis it will be 4 units,
Yes, sir.
and in the y-axis it will be 2 units, but it is in the negative direction. In the z-axis it will be 3 units. Okay, that is your understanding. Now you start from 0, 0. So you start from 0, 0. In the x-axis you will go 4 units and it is plus. So it is going on the left side. If it is minus 4i, then you will go to the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. Okay. It is not minus 4. So you will go to the plus 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, you come here. And then you go 2 units, but it is negative. So it will not like this, not on the right side. Okay, not like this. It will be in the other side. It will পিছন দিকে মানে দেয়ালের ওই পাশে. So you are going like 1 and 2. This will be the the 2j minus 2j. And then what? And then এখান থেকে তুমি উপরে যাবা নাহলে নিচে আসবে. So উপরে means positive k, and minus means downside. Downside means negative k. So in this case, it is plus 3k. So you will go up. Up মানে কার মতো? এই যে এই z axis এর মতো সোজা ওইটার প্যারালাল সোজা উপরে উঠতেছে. So it will be 3 units. So 1, 2, 3, and then you stop. So that will be the last point. Okay. And if you think about the point, মানে এই পয়েন্টের coordinates কি হবে? Then you will write 4, then comma, then minus 2, then comma, then 3. That will be the coordinate of that point. Three-dimensional coordinate, x, y, z. If you think about the coordinates of P point, then what will be the coordinates of P? 3,
3, 2,
3,
1.
2, minus 1.
2 minus 1.
exactly, 3, 2, minus 1. So that will be the coordinates of the P point with x, y, z, 3 things. So this is the understanding of vector. But if you think about vector, then what is the vector? Vector is OP. Vector is OP line. OP line means it has a length. হ্যাঁ, এখানে ছবিতে কি দেখা যাচ্ছে? OQ টা বড় নাকি OP টা বড়?
OQ. Okay.
ছবিতে দেখে মনে হচ্ছে OQ টা বড় হওয়ার কথা. So you can check, right? তুমি বার করে দেখতে পারো. You can check, is it bigger or P is bigger, which one? So this is the magnitude, and OP and OQ are they in the same direction? No, not at all. This is in one direction and that one is another direction. So ওগুলো তুমি বের করে লিখতে পারো, ডিরেকশন ডিফারেন্ট দিকে যাইতেছে, right? So this is the understanding. Now let me ask you something about the triangle law, what we have discussed today in this situation. In this situation, who can find out what is PQ vector? What is PQ vector? PQ means I am saying about this line. I am talking about P to Q, that line, P to Q line. I am talking about this line, and I am giving you the direction P to Q, P থেকে Q, this direction. So what will be the answer for PQ? Who can say? কে বাইর করতে পারবে?
স্যার এটা কি লাইক
মাইনাস হবে এটা,
স্যার
আমি
কিউ মাইনাস পি হবে।
হবে Q minus P হবে। কে বলছো?
মাহিদুর।
Mahidul Rahman. Mahidul Rahman is right. Actually, he is right. So anyone can tell in any other things? অন্য কোনো ভাবে কেউ কিছু বলতে চাও? মাহিদুরেরটা ঠিক হয়েছে, আমি তো মাইনে নিলাম, তো এখন আর বলবা কেমনে? ওই জন্য একটু মজা করতে হয়, প্রথমে না বইলা আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে দেখি আর কি কি বলতে। তো এখন যেহেতু মাইদুরেরটা আমি মাইনে নিলাম যে ঠিক আছে, এখন সবাই মনে করবে না ঠিক আছে, আর অন্য কিছু চিন্তা করে লাভ নেই। Okay, so Mahidur, now you explain how did you do that? It is Q minus P, correct, but how did you do that?
Cause ডিরেকশন দুইটা দুই দিকের ডিরেকশন, সে কারণে।
Okay, so
ডিরেকশন উল্টা হলে মাইনাস হবে।
ডিরেকশন উল্টা হলে মাইনাস হবে, এটা তুমি মনে রাখছো। So is that okay? অন্য কেউ কিছু বলবা, or everyone can understand this?
স্যার আপনি একটু বুঝিয়ে দিলে ভালো হতো।
ওকে, আমি বুঝিয়ে দিলে ভালো হলে আমি বুঝিয়ে দিব, অসুবিধা নাই। কিন্তু তোমাদের এরকম কি আগে থেকে কিছু জানা আছে বা মাইদুরের কথা থেকে কিছু বুঝতে পারছো? নট ক্লিয়ার।
এটা ডট গুণ হবে না স্যার?
ডট গুণ আমরা এখনো শিখি নাই, ডট গুণটা আমরা করব, এর পরে কথা ছিল। সো তুমি যদি ডট গুণ দিয়েও যদি এক্সপ্লেন করতে পারো বলতে পারো, অসুবিধা নাই। মানে এখানে ডট নাই, এই অরেঞ্জ কালার পিকিউ, এটাতে ডট নাই, এটা আমি বুঝাতেছি পি থেকে কিউ পর্যন্ত লাইন। পি হচ্ছে একটা কর্নার, কিউ হচ্ছে আরেকটা কর্নার। সো আমি এখানে ডটের মতো লিখি নাই, আমি বলতেছি পি কিউ লাইনটা নিজেই একটা সিঙ্গেল ভেক্টর। তুমি ওটা একটা আলাদা নাম দিতে পারো, ইউ ক্যান থিঙ্ক দ্যাট দিস ভেক্টর ইজ আর। ওকে, সো নো প্রবলেম, দিস ভেক্টর ইজ আর possible. Okay. So what is R vector? R vector is actually P to Q. P Q vector, এটার নাম হচ্ছে R. So যেটা মাহিদুর বলছে সেটা হলো এটাতে হবে কিউ ভেক্টর, মানে আগে আমাদের যেটা কিউ ভেক্টর ছিল, কিউ ভেক্টর মাইনাস আর ভেক্টর, পি ভেক্টর। সো ইট ইজ কারেক্ট, দ্য আনসার ইজ কারেক্ট। এবং ও যেটা বলছে যে দুইটা একদিকে যাইতেছে ব্লা ব্লা ব্লা, এটা এই জন্য মাইনাস, ঠিক আছে, ওইটাও সে ঠিকই বলছে। তো ওইটা সে মনে রাখছে, আগে হয়তো পড়ছে কোথাও ইন্টারমিডিয়েট লেভেলে, তখন ওইটা সে মনে রাখছে। সো নাও this has the connection with the triangle law. So now let me explain how it is happening. So in the triangle law, I told you, in the triangle law, it will be if you represent two vectors in the same order. Okay, if you represent the two vectors in same order, so let me write it in violet color here. Same order, I'm talking about this triangle, OPQ triangle. Okay, so in this triangle, if you write down O, sorry, violet color, let me just take this. So I told you, okay, let me write it here. OP is one side, that is one vector line, and then PQ. PQ is another side. Okay. And then this is another vector. These two are in the same direction. O to P, O to P, and then P to Q. Is it okay? Is it okay? So it will be equal to what? Equal to Kilibo?
O OQ.
QO or OQ?
OQ.
OQ. Right, exactly. So that will be in opposite order. So you actually want to find the PQ side. You want to find the PQ side. So you write PQ side on the left side and write OQ, which is already in the right side, and then minus, then OP. OP is in the right side now. So what is your OQ? OQ vector is actually your Q vector, right?
Yes.
This is actually your 4i and then minus 2j and then plus 3k. This is your uh, OQ vector. Already you have this vector. And then minus you write down the P vector. That is 3i and then 2j and then minus k.
Minus K.
Okay. So that will be your other vector, and then you just do the minus. So it will be 4i minus 3i, so only I, and then minus 2j, so minus 4j, right?
Yes, sir.
And then 3k minus plus k, so 4k. So that will be actually your OP vector. That's it from the example. Okay, that is it. So Mahidur directly বলছে it will be q vector minus p vector. So this is correct. This is q vector minus p vector. এই যে এই লাইনটা তাই আসতেছে। Okay. So just keep it in your mind. Try to understand what is the triangle law for vectors. That is the understanding. So we cannot discuss the dot product now. That is all about 3D vector and triangle law. So we will talk about dot product and cross product both in the next class. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So let us finish our class.
Okay.